When a woman is into you, she often won't come out and say it directly. But if you're paying attention, there are subtle and sometimes not so subtle signs. She's wondering why you haven't made a move yet. Whether it's a first kiss, asking her out, or taking things to the next level. Your hesitation might be confusing her, especially if she's been dropping hints like confetti. Here are 5 signs she can't believe you haven't made a move yet. Number 1, she finds reasons to spend time alone with you. Sometimes the clearest signals are not spoken aloud. They're shown in quiet actions, repeated invitations, and moments intentionally crafted for two. When a woman finds reasons to spend time alone with you, it's often more than just friendly convenience. It may be her way of opening a door, hoping you'll walk through it, and if these moments keep happening, she may silently be wondering why you haven't made a move yet. One of the most telling signs is her consistency in creating or accepting opportunities to be with you. One on one, whether it's suggesting a quick coffee, catch up asking you to help her pick out something at the store, or proposing a spontaneous late night walk. These aren't just arbitrary plans. They're her way of carving out space for emotional connection and intimacy. Also, these scenarios tend to offer a relaxed, pressure-free environment where genuine conversation can unfold something she may hope will lead to something deeper. Furthermore, it's not just about the frequency of these hangouts, but the intention behind them. If she's consistently choosing situations where it's just the two of you, she's likely signaling trust and comfort, which are the building blocks of romantic interest. A woman who repeatedly seeks alone time is rarely doing so without reason. Additionally, her choice to spend these quiet, sometimes vulnerable moments with you instead of others is often a reflection of how much she values your presence. There's also the subtle element of timing. If she reaches out during hours when most people are winding down, like in the evenings, or if she finds ways to stretch your time together just a little longer, it might mean she's waiting for you to recognize the invitation within her actions. She might not say, "I like you. Why haven't you kissed me yet?" But she may be wondering exactly that as you both sip coffee for the 3rd time this week, sitting a little closer than necessary, sharing stories that go beyond small talk. Additionally, her body language and energy during these moments can speak volumes. The way she listens, intently finds excuses for casual touches, or simply locks eyes. A second longer than usual are all small but meaningful ways of expressing her interest. She's opening doors, pausing to let you walk through them, and noticing sometimes with surprise that you have it in these situations. It's important to be aware not just of what's being said, but of what's not being said. When a woman finds reasons to be alone with you again and again, she's not just enjoying your company. She may be offering a quiet challenge to stop playing it so cool, to recognize the spark she's trying to nurture, and to finally make a move. She's been anticipating. Number 2. She compliments you more than necessary. Sometimes attraction doesn't announce itself with grand gestures or dramatic confessions. More often, it reveals itself in subtle ways through words, gestures, and behavior that carry deeper meaning beneath the surface. One of the clearest yet frequently overlooked indicators that a woman is interested in, wondering why you haven't made a move, is when she compliments you more than necessary, and not just any compliments, the kind that suggests she sees you as more than just a friend or acquaintance. When a woman consistently offers praise that goes beyond polite conversation, it's usually not accidental. Sure, saying you have nice shoes or a fresh haircut can be friendly and casual, but when those compliments become more personal, more frequent, and more pointed, they're likely carrying a message. If she's telling you things like, "You'd make such a great boyfriend," or asking, "How are you still single?" she's not just being sweet, she's nudging the conversation into more intimate territory. These kinds of remarks often come loaded with subtext. She's putting the idea of romance out there, albeit wrapped in humor or flattery. Also, such comments are meant to provoke a reaction, to see if you'll meet her halfway. A woman who's repeatedly praising your personality, looks, or emotional intelligence in a way that borders on flirtatious is likely not doing so by mistake. It's her way of testing the waters without making a full leap, because traditionally or socially, she might expect you to be the one to make the first move. Additionally, the way she delivers these compliments can speak volumes. There's often a pause afterward, a searching glance, or even a laugh that feels like it's masking slight impatience if you don't pick up on it. She may even double down, increasing the intensity or frequency of her compliments in hopes that you'll finally take the hint. And when you don't, it's easy to imagine the internal dialogue running through her head. Is he really not getting it? Or worse, maybe he's not interested after all. Furthermore, her compliments might appear at unexpected moments outside the usual ebb and flow of conversation. You could be talking about something completely unrelated, and she'll find a way to drop in a flattering observation about you. This isn't just friendly banter, it's strategic and emotionally charged. She's opening a door for you, hoping you'll notice and walk through it in the end. When a woman is showering you with meaningful compliments that feel a little too thoughtful or well-timed, it's not just because she enjoys making you feel good, though she likely does. It's because she's waiting for you to recognize the opening she's created. She may not want to be the one to say it outright, but her words are a clear invitation. If you're hearing those kinds of compliments and still hesitating, don't be surprised if she starts wondering just how oblivious you might be. Number 3, she teases you about being clueless when navigating the early stages of a romantic connection. Subtle cues often carry more weight than direct expressions. One of the more telling signs that a woman may be wondering why you haven't made a move yet lies in the way she playfully teases you, specifically if she jokingly refers to you as clueless, oblivious, or even too nice. It might be more than just lighthearted banter. It could be her way of expressing a blend of interest and frustration. At first glance, this teasing may come across as harmless fun. She might laugh as she tells you that you're missing all the obvious signs, or act mock surprised when you don't pick up on certain hints. Also, this kind of playful behavior often creates a comfortable dynamic where she feels safe enough to express her feelings without putting everything on the line behind her. Teasing, however, there's usually a deeper sentiment disbelief that you haven't recognized her interest or taken steps towards something more. Additionally, the choice of words she uses can reveal quite a bit. Calling you too nice may seem complimentary, but in this context, it often carries a subtext. She may be trying to tell you that your respectful approach, while appreciated, is perhaps too reserved for her liking. In essence, she's encouraging you to shift gears, to take the next step, because she's already emotionally ahead of where she thinks you are. Her jesting remarks about your supposed obliviousness become her way of bridging that gap. Furthermore, this kind of teasing is frequently laced with genuine emotion. While she may keep it light on the surface, there's often a palpable tension behind the laughter. It's as if she's saying, "Why haven't you noticed how I feel?" Without directly uttering those words, the teasing becomes a signal, a safe, indirect way of nudging you forward while preserving her own vulnerability. It's important to tune in, not just to the words she says, but to the tone in which they're delivered. If her jokes about your cluelessness come with warm smiles, lingering glances, or a touch of exasperation wrapped in amusement, chances are she's trying to get your attention in the only way she feels she can, without risking rejection. She's not just being playful, she's testing the waters, hoping you'll finally realize what's been unfolding right in front of you. So the next time she calls you out for being dense or teases you about missing the obvious, take a moment to look past the surface. Her words may be laced with laughter, but her message is often crystal clear. She's waiting for you to make the move she's already imagined. Number 4, she brings up your connection a lot in the world of dating and relationships. Reading between the lines often matters just as much, if not more, than what's being said outright. Sometimes a woman might not tell you directly that she's interested, but her words and the topics she chooses to bring up can speak volumes. One subtle yet telling sign that she might be waiting for you to take things to the next level is how often she brings up your connection. When a woman repeatedly talks about how much she enjoys your conversations or how natural it feels to be around you, she's not simply making small talk. These moments of emotional openness are often carefully chosen cues. She might say things like, "I feel like I can talk to you about anything," or "It's crazy how we just click." While on the surface, these remarks may seem casual or even platonic, they often carry a deeper meaning. She's drawing attention to the emotional bond you share, something that feels rare and worth exploring further. Also, it's important to note that when a woman brings up your chemistry or how comfortable she feels with you, she's signaling that she's emotionally engaged. This isn't just about finding you easy to talk to. It's about her feeling safe, seen, and genuinely excited by your presence. She's planting seeds of emotional intimacy, subtly inviting you to acknowledge and reciprocate the feeling. This is her way of leaving the door open, not just to her thoughts, but potentially to her heart. Additionally, bringing up your connection consistently shows that she's not just passing the time with you. She sees something more, something that sets your dynamic apart from others. If she didn't care or wasn't interested in where things might lead, she wouldn't invest so much energy in highlighting the emotional rapport you share. This repeated emphasis is often her indirect way of asking, "Do you feel it too?" Furthermore, this kind of dialogue is rarely accidental. Most people, especially when it comes to something as personal as feelings, don't repeatedly draw attention to something that doesn't matter to them if she's taking the time to express how meaningful your bond feels. It's likely because she hopes you'll recognize it too and act on it. She may not want to risk being too forward or vulnerable, so she leaves breadcrumbs instead, hoping you'll follow the trail. In essence, when a woman keeps returning to the idea of your connection, she's not just being reflective or friendly, she's likely wrestling with a quiet surprise that you haven't yet made a move despite what she sees as clear and mutual chemistry. Her words are a gentle nudge, a hopeful prompt understanding. This can be the key to moving from emotional resonance to something more tangible if you feel the same way. Number 5, she's still around. Despite the inaction when it comes to romantic interest, actions often speak louder than words. While much is said about the bold gestures and obvious signs of affection, sometimes the subtlest indicators carry the greatest meaning. One such sign often overlooked is her continued presence in your life, even when you've hesitated to act. If you're wondering how to know if a woman can't believe you haven't made a move, yet start with this powerful clue: she's still around. Her consistent presence is not accidental. In a world where people are increasingly quick to disengage when their efforts are not reciprocated, her decision to stay close, despite your lack of initiative, is telling. It suggests a mixture of hope, patience, and curiosity. She's likely wondering why you haven't stepped forward and whether your silence masks a deeper interest. Also, it's important to recognize that women are rarely willing to linger indefinitely where they feel unacknowledged. Time and energy are valuable, and continued investment in a connection often points to an expectation that something more will eventually unfold. Additionally, her presence may reflect her belief in your potential. She might see qualities in you that lead her to think you're worth waiting for. This belief can be so strong that it overrides the typical frustration or confusion that comes with mixed signals. Rather than walking away, she chooses to remain, suddenly encouraging you to take the next step. Her patience might not be endless, but for now it indicates that she still sees possibilities where others might have seen a dead end. Furthermore, the nature of her interactions with you often reveals even more. Is she still initiating conversations, suggesting time together, or maintaining emotional openness? If so, these behaviors align with her continued presence and reinforce the idea that she hasn't given up on the idea of something more. Her engagement isn't just passive, it's an active sign that she's hoping you'll eventually recognize the moment for what it is and respond. Also, emotional availability plays a major role here. If she's consistently supportive, attentive, or finds reasons to stay connected, it likely isn't just out of habit or politeness. These are conscious choices made in the hope that you'll pick up on what hasn't been said directly. Women don't typically invest emotionally in a static dynamic unless they believe change is possible or at least desired. What's most important to understand is that her patience is a signal, not a permanent state. While she may be willing to wait a while, it's not a guarantee that her interest will endure forever. She may be giving you the benefit of the doubt, assuming your delay is due to caution or uncertainty rather than disinterest. But eventually the silence could speak louder than her willingness to stay in the end. If she's still around, despite the inaction, it's a compelling indicator that she's been waiting for clarity, for a signal, for a move that confirms what she suspects you feel. Her presence is not passive, it is deliberate, hopeful, and quietly powerful. And if you're wondering whether the moment is right to act, her consistent return might just be the invitation you've been looking for. Thanks for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for future videos.